Check, 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 check.
Mic check, mic check.
Stop us.
Good evening, everybody, Cardinal fans, and welcome to HB Stewart Bulldog Arena in Greenwood, Arkansas. I'm Brian Dean alongside Brody Hill and Dallas Walker, and sorry about that, Cardinal fans. We have had some major technical difficulties on the side of our TriCaster, but Dallas got it working and allows us to be live. We are in the middle of halftime, actually towards the end of halftime, where your Cardinals are down 22-31. Greenwood jumped out to a big lead early goings, Dallas, and just realistically never let up.
Yeah, early in the first quarter, I think our biggest deficit was like 11-0.
It was up there.
Yeah, and we were a little slow out the gate, but especially in that second quarter, we really started coming back. I think at one point we came back to only being down by 2 or down by 3. So we're definitely not out of it. We answered. We had an answer in the second quarter, and I mean with a whole nother half to play, I think we're still in a good spot.
Yeah, one thing about it, the Lady Bulldogs have not shown any resiliency as far as letting up, and Farmington has actually put forth a fight. Being down early, they could have, as big as they were down early,
right,
they very well could have thrown in the towel and said, you know what, hey, we're done, we have no way to come back, blah, 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 that sort of thing. But they kept in it, they were patient, they were able to put the ball in the basket finally, and then got some things rolling.
Yeah.
As we get set for second half start, looking at the Cardinals on the court, we've got McKenna Van Zant, Madison Pence, Trinity Johnson, Joelle Tidwell, and Alexis Roach. For the Bulldogs, Angela Price, Jalen Glass, Shea Goodwin, Kaya Julian. Bulldogs lead at 31-22, start of the second half. Goodwin with a miss, rebounded by Julian. Her jump shot misses. Trinity McKenna pushes it ahead to Roach. Nice save, and unfortunately it went to a Bulldog.
Yeah, like we were talking, like you just mentioned about the resiliency, one thing I saw in the second half that we really helped us was whenever Greenwood would take a shot, they might take a nice 3 or a good layup. We'd go right in and do the exact same thing.
In the first half, Bulldogs got out early with a bunch of 3s, and hopefully, just like that last shot by Julian, have gone cold from three-point land. Here's Tidwell on a drive. She goes up for a shot, gets hacked. See who they call it on. Should be on number 14, Maggie Rosewell.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that kind of frustrated Lady Cardinals at first, was because in a way they played kind of the way we play against other people, with a fast-paced offense and an aggressive defense.
Right. That foul, Bulldog foul, was actually on Harley Terry. Her first personal foul. Tidwell shot, second shot up. Off the front end of the rim, back into the rim, and out. Goodwin brings the ball up for the Bulldogs. Fisher from the wing, back to the top. Looks to drive inside. Layups up and in.
Two-point basket, number 23, Kinley Fisher.
And there's a turnover by the Lady Cardinals.
Traveling violation, possession, Greenwood.
33-22, 6:32 left to go in the third quarter. There's a blocking foul called on Trinity Johnson.
Fouls on number 23, Trinity Johnson, her second.
That's Johnson's second personal foul, team's third of the second half. Correction, first of the half. And there's a blocking foul. I thought it was a charge.
Yeah. That might have been called against us, but I do like the way our defense is trying to play aggressive. If you want to come back from a deficit, you can't just have an offense that's going to score a lot of points because you got to stop them from scoring.
Another thing is, Dallas, I think Lady Cardinals just got to stop committing those simple fouls. You know what I mean? Just giving the ball away to the other team. Yeah, it is little things here and there. You cut a few fouls there, score a few points there. Slowly it starts to add up, and suddenly you've got to come back.
Sophomore Tori Kersey checks in, replacing Roach. Here come the Lady Redbirds. Tidwell bringing the ball up the court. Looking for some help. Throws it inside to Van Zandt. The basket's up and good.
2-point basket, number 22.
That's just really good vision by Tidwell to get that pass in there inside.
Yeah, really good. It was almost as if she didn't pass it where she was at. She passed it where she was headed. Kind of that lead pass you see sometimes in football. Kind of set her up right there for that nice layup.
Fisher from the wing. She bails out. They reset the offense. Julian with the threes off the mark. Rebounded by Van Zandt. Looking to push. Pushes the ball ahead to Johnson. Her shot's off the mark.
I think Trinity looked a little rushed right there. I think if she would have a little bit more time to set up for that shot, I think it would have gone in.
Somehow that ball goes out of bounds off the Bulldogs, and it's called the Bulldogs' way. Yes, in reality, that means that it went off of the Cardinals. Good one from the wing. Skip pass, almost intercepted by Kersey. Price looking to shake and bake, gives a nice dish downside.
Foul on number 4, Madison Pence, her first. To the line to shoot 2, number 5, Harlan Terry.
Pence picks up her first personal foul. Terry's at the line for the Bulldogs. Shots up off the back of the rim. 35-24 Bulldogs.
That honestly wasn't a bad play on the ball by Madison. She was just a little too aggressive down there.
Second shot's up off the front end of the rim. Rebounded by Tidwell. Looking to push the ball ahead. Coach J calls out the offensive set. Tidwell from the wing. Tidwell drives inside, gets hacked.
Yeah, one thing I really like that I think we have done good all game is our rebounding. I feel like we're not really giving up a whole lot of second chance shots. We're really forcing them to score on their first shot.
Terry picks up the personal foul for the Bulldogs. Her second personal.
Into the game for the Lady Bulldogs, number 4, Hayden Clements, and number 15, Allie Sutton.
Tidwell's first shot is up and off the mark. Second shot to follow, and it's in. Redbirds down by 10, 35-25. 4:40 left to go in the third quarter. It's a steal by the Cardinals.
One thing about Tidwell this game, she's been playing really aggressive on defense and on offense.
Van Zandt looks to drive inside, basket's up and in, count it.
Yeah, going off of what Brody said, one thing I've noticed, and I haven't really, thought about it until now, but a lot of our players have really long arm span. Like, it's really hard to make those across the court passes from one side to the other when you have arms in the way, just reaching in, trying to grab that ball. It really makes it hard to see, and it makes it hard to pass.
Van Zandt completes the three-point play to close the gap down to 7. Bulldog foul was on Angela Price, her third personal foul. Price from the top of the key, looking to drive, nothing there. Tidwell's going to get called for the bunt.
Fouls on number 33, Joelle Tidwell, her first. To the line to shoot 2, number 11, Kaya Julian.
It's Tidwell's first personal foul. Julian's at the line for the Bulldogs. Shots up and good.
Into the ball game for the
Checking into the ball game for the Redbirds is Eliza Ball.
Cardinals 25, Eliza Ball.
Goodwin checks back in for the Lady Bulldogs. Julian's second shot's up and good. Redbirds looking to inbounds just before the 5-second clock tick. Tidwell bringing the ball across the timeline. Kersey from the corner. She gets bumped by Julian.
Fouls on number 11, Kaya Julian, her second.
It's Julian's second, Bulldogs fourth of the quarter. Second half. Ball to throw it in. Gets it up to Van Zant. Ball from the wing over to Tidwell. Tidwell reverses field. Kicks it back out the ball, up for three. Off the mark.
You know, one thing I've been noticing these last couple possessions is that both teams have really eliminated the three-point shot, and they're both getting most of their points from inside or drawing that foul and getting on the three-point line. And
yeah, I'd agree. I think both of these teams kind of live off the three-pointer.
This ball stolen by the Redbirds. Ahead to Pence. Her shot's under the basket.
It's like they're getting real physical there under the goal tonight.
Jump ball call. Possession goes to Farmington. Van Zant tries to sneak one off the back of Clements. Unsuccessful as it goes in off her back and into the hands of another Bulldog. That shot up by Greenwood's off the mark. Rebounded by Greenwood's Goodwin. Fisher to Goodwin. Inside to a diving Julian, and it's up and good. Excuse me, that was Ali Saki. Pence resets the offense, reverses over to Van Zant. Van Zant goes inside and gets hacked.
Yeah, but going back to what Brody was saying, both of these teams kind of live off the three ball. And in a game like this, for the Cardinals, when they're trying to come back, and for Greenwood, when they're trying to fight off that comeback, you just got to keep playing physical. You got to get points where you can. Don't try and force anything. Just take what they give you.
Van Zant's first shot's off the back of the iron. No good. Timeout, Greenwood. 2:12 left to go in the third quarter. They have a 11-point lead, 39-28 over the Redbirds. At this time, Dallas do want to make mention Greenwood is unfortunately tonight without head coach Clay Reeves. He, which is sad scenario. A lot of Farmington folks know Coach Reeves from his days at Greenland. A lot of great battles between Coach Reeves and Coach Blue back in the day. And I'm talking way back.
Yeah.
And when I mean way back, I mean further back than some of you guys were actually alive. But nonetheless, he did have to step away from his duties as a head coach due to medical reasons. Do want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Coach Reeves and his family during this time. And it's nothing that he hasn't been battling, so unfortunately it's a recurring issue but for him. But wish you the best, Coach Reeves, for a speedy and healthy recovery as we get back to action. Van Zant's second shot is up and it's in. Redbirds within 10. Fisher brings the ball up, passes ahead to Goodwin. Goodwin looks to go inside. Finds two Redbirds waiting for her. Kersey with the rebound. Head to Van Zant. Van Zant goes inside. How she doesn't get fouled, I have no idea. Ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Bulldog. They must have said that she lost control of it beforehand. Van Zant goes inside, no good. Julian with the rebound. Brings it ahead for the Lady Bulldogs. It's a steal by the Redbirds. Van Zant pushes ahead. Tidwell. Tidwell pulls up. Gets it back to Van Zant. Coach Jay calls out the play. Comes the Redbirds. Over the ball in the corner. Ball to Pence to Tidwell. Back to Van Zant. Van Zant the ball. Over to Pence in the corner for three. Shots up and good.
And you know, Mr. Dean, I think that's just one thing that the Lady Cardinals are going to have more of, because if they get a couple more defensive stops like that and just keep scoring every time they get the ball back, they can be right back in this game.
Right, Redbirds within 7, 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Julian goes inside, passes back out to Goodwin. And there's a basket.
2-point basket, number 15, Allie
by Saki. Van Zant guarded by Goodwin. Comes a double team. Van Zant goes the other direction. Ball from the wing. Over to Van Zant in the corner. Over to Pence. Nice pass. Unfortunately got intercepted.
2-point basket, number 15, Allie Saki.
Saki with a basket. That's going to be it for the third quarter, where the Greenwood Lady Bulldogs lead it 43-32 over Farmington. We'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening.
Every home has electrical problems. A faulty switch, outdated fixtures, or not enough outlets. Buzz has seen them all. What's your home's problem? Call Buzz Electrical through Wednesday and get $50 off your service call and receive a whole home safety inspection on us.
Academies give students an opportunity.
We're back, Cardinal fans, from HB Stewart Bulldog Arena in Greenwood. Lady Cardinals down by 11, start of the fourth quarter to Greenwood, 43-32. Greenwood has the possession.
And one thing that the Cardinals are going to have to do if they come back, you saw it right there towards the end of the third quarter, is that we don't have a problem getting open. The problem is that just as soon as we get open, they get a man on us. So we really got to make that pass quick. And just like this, get into the open man and get the ball in the hoop.
2-point basket, number 14, Alexis Roach.
Roach from Van Zant. Close the gap within 9. Another steal by the Redbirds, by Van Zant. Looking to drive inside. Gets held up by Fisher, no call. 3-point basket by Johnson from the corner, and it's good. Redbirds within 6.
I don't think Greenwood's coach liked that quick three right there, and he's going to take a timeout.
Yeah.
Greenwood calls the timeout, up 43-37, 7:14 left to go in the fourth quarter. And you know, that's a good call, Brody, but here's the thing about it. Eventually, they're going to catch up to you.
Right.
Trinity Johnson, I don't know how much you guys have seen her shot, but she's got one of the quickest release shots that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Now, I've been following basketball for a long time. And I don't know that I could pick out somebody that's got a quicker release than Trinity Johnson.
And that was a pretty good contested shot too, and she got it off. She had some people in her face right there when she took that shot.
Yeah, one of the things when you got that, when you're passing the ball around like that, you got the defense scatterbrain. And so when you have that open shot and you pass it out, they're going to come flying at you as quick as they can. And sometimes it's not the easiest thing just standing there and take the shot when you got people sprinting at you like
Let's
that.
note, Trinity Johnson, she's only a sophomore, so she has 2 more years to keep doing that.
Right.
Van Zant, Tidwell, Pence, Roach. And that shot is blocked by Tidwell. Goes ahead to Pence for 3, off the mark. And Johnson, there's a steal by the Cardinals. Great hustle play. I am not exactly sure. I have lost control. Tidwell's up underneath the basket, calling for the ball.
Out of bounds off of Greenwood.
And I tell you what, that right there is a great sequence of the hustle by the Redbirds and by Greenwood, not to take any credit away from them to save that uncontested. Here's a 3 ball by Pence. Is good to pull it within 3.
Man.
Lady Cardinals are starting to play their kind of basketball, getting those wide open threes and just flushing them.
I don't know what I just watched that last minute, but I know Coach Johnson's loving it.
Fisher from the mouth of the Bulldog. Looking to set up the offense, kicks it over to Saki. Over to Julian from the wing. Errant pass out of bounds. Turnover, Bulldogs over to the hands of the Redbirds.
You know, Mr. Dean, I didn't think I saw anyone over there to pass it to. I don't know who she was passing to right then.
Well, I saw who she was passing it to. It was a reflection off the floor.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, like I said, it's hard to make an accurate pass when you got hands in your face.
Harley Terry and Shea Goodwin check back in for the Bulldogs.
I mean, that girl was
Redbirds
open.
down by 3. Sorry, Dallas.
Oh, that's fine. She was open for like half a second, but then you had Van Sant swooping in like a hawk.
Nice pass from Pence to Van Zant. Back out to Pence. Skip pass. Out of bounds. Turnover, Redbirds.
Man, I just looked over the scoreboard. We're only down by 3 right now.
Indeed.
The gap is closing quick.
Fisher from the Bulldog. Trying to set up the offense. Here comes the trap. Gets rid of it over to Goodwin. Goodwin over to Saki.
The Lady Cardinals are really making it hard for the Bulldogs to move the ball. They're really getting up in their face.
Fouls on number 33, Joelle Tidwell, her second.
Tidwell picks up her second shot, or her second foul. Fisher from the line for the Bulldogs. Sinks the first one. 44-40, 5:16 left to go. Fisher's second one's on the way, and it's good. Bulldogs by 5. Van Zant to Tidwell. Tidwell to Pence from the corner. 3 balls off the mark. Rebound, Tidwell puts it up and in. Great offensive rebound by Tidwell and putback. Cards once again within 3. Fisher from the Bulldog. Gets it over to Goodwin. Goodwin to Fisher. Fisher looking to drive. Nowhere to go. Thought about a 3, kicks it back out.
And that's one thing the Lady Cardinals got to be careful of. If they're going to play that aggressive defense, they're going to be careful about committing those fouls.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to, they want to play aggressive, but then again, you don't want to get in foul trouble, which for right now is not necessarily anything to worry about.
Johnson picks up her third. Here's a 3-point shot on the way from Goodwin, and it's good.
Number 3, Shea Goodwin.
Johnson to Tidwell. Over to Pence. Here's a 3 to answer. Off the mark. Rebound by Van Zant. Shot up, no good. Looked like it was blocked. Goodwin goes in, pulls it back out. Over to Fisher. 3:55 to go. Bulldogs lead by 6. Julian back to Fisher. Here's Goodwin. Cardinals look to steal one. Bulldogs look content to run as much clock as possible. Goodwin goes driving inside, gets hacked
Fouls on number 20
by Trinity Johnson, her 4th personal foul.
Team 7.
1-1 going forward for the Lady Bulldogs. 30-second timeout called by Farmington. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Are you in the market for some exterior or home improvements? Is your home ready for new siding, gutters, or metal roof, or asphalt roof? Do you need a new metal building or a shop? Give Foster's Exterior Solutions a call today. Locally owned and operated right here in Farmington since 2008, Foster's Exterior Solutions is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics.
Hello, this is Kerry Pitts with Foster's Exterior Solutions. Please give us a call for all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs. We're at 479-445-9799. Go Cardinals.
Ozark Dermatology offers full medical, surgical, and aesthetic services. Our team offers comprehensive care for medical.
We're back, Cardinal fans, from HB Stewart Bulldog Arena in Greenwood, Arkansas. Dallas Walker, Brody Hill, I'm Brian Dean. The Redbirds down by 6 with 3:30 to go.
And I know, Brody, you brought
in the
up
fourth quarter.
Brody, I know you brought up the fouls. One thing to look at is now the Greenwood is in the bonus, which is it's going to be hard. We're going to have to try not to get those little fouls.
You know, one thing that differs from college or high school is high school you don't have that shot
There's
clock.
A block by Van Zant, pushes ahead to Johnson. Johnson to Van Zant, her shot's off the mark, rebound by Tidwell. Her pass gets deflected out of bounds off of Greenwood.
I feel like Tidwell's really making her presence felt right there in that paint, especially in the offensive rebound side. Always getting those second chance baskets, or at least passing it out to someone.
Yeah, she's playing real physical inside and outside.
Johnson to Pence to Van Zant, inside to Tidwell. Further inside to Roach, outside to Pence. Shots up and off the mark. That was actually Johnson from the wing.
And like I was saying earlier about the shot
Julian
clock.
for 3. Off the mark, rebound, Tidwell. Inside to Roach, powers up, and the basket's good. Redbirds down by 4, 2:27 left to go in the fourth quarter. Fisher takes it inside, her shot rattles around off the rim and out. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Julian shot up and good.
2-point basket, number 11, Kaya Julian.
And with only 2 minutes left in the game, you can definitely expect this to be a passionate and really intense last closing of the game. Nice three-pointer right there by Trinity Johnson.
That was a nice contested three-pointer. That's her second of the night.
Redbirds pull within 3, minute 50 to go in the fourth quarter. 50-47 Bulldogs. Redbirds looking to turn up the heat just a bit.
Redbirds need to get a turnover right here.
Almost got it.
I think
Julian
her foot was down.
goes inside. Shots up off the mark.
That's what we
Rebound Van Zant. Pushes ahead to Johnson. Johnson skips it over to Pence. Pence to Van Zant. Back to Johnson. Johnson gets held by Julian.
Fouls on number 11, Kaya Julian, her third.
It's her third personal foul, team 6.
For the Lady Bulldogs, number 22, Jalen Glass.
Jalen Glass checks in for the Lady Bulldogs. 1:21 left to go. Bulldogs up by 3, 50-47. Van Zandt to Pence from the corner. Three's on the way, and it's good! Tie ball game off a three-point basket by Pence. Minute 10 to go, 50 apiece.
And Brian, that's really great for the momentum if you consider that this comeback has really been in the works since the opening tip-off. Right after Greenwood scored their first basket, we've been down.
Right.
And it took all the way into the last 58, about 50 minute left in the game.
Roach picks up a foul, sends Fisher to the line for a 1-and-1. Last time she was there, she misses.
You know, Dallas, I think that was
Shots up, and it's off the back of the rim, rebounded by Johnson. 57 seconds left to go, tied at 50. Redbirds got the ball. Setting up the offense. Goes inside to Tidwell from Van Zandt. Van Zandt gets it back from Tidwell, goes inside, up and good! Van Zandt from Tidwell as the Cardinals take their first lead of the night. 52-50 with 37 seconds left to go. Crowd's into it on both sides. Glass goes for a shot. Oh! Goes inside for a shot off the mark. Cardinal fans were wanting a charge, looked to have the charge, and then the referee calls a block.
I don't know, from this angle, it looked like she jumped up and stuck a knee out.
Looked a little rough to me.
We're on the opposite side, so.
Glass at the line for 2 shots, down by 2. First shot's up and in, 28.6 seconds remaining. Glass coming with the second shot. Redbirds lead at 52-51. Glass's second shot's off the back of the rim, rebounded by Johnson. 26 and counting. Cardinals break the timeline. Coach Jay wants a timeout. We're going to keep it right here, folks. 22.6 seconds remaining. Cardinals up by 1, 52-50 at HB Stewart Bulldog Arena. And Dallas, you guys have mentioned it from the get-go. Greenwood has come out on fire, not only by 2s, but mainly in the first half. If I were to put a number to it, granted, I wasn't able to keep stats in the first half because of the issues that we were dealing with, but I would venture to guess that somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 7 of their field goals that they made were 3-point shots.
Right.
Got out to an 11-0 run before the Cardinals got on the board, extended that lead. I believe it got as high as 13 before the Cardinals started slowly but surely chipping away. Right. And finally, with just over literally seconds, just more than 60 seconds left to go, Redbirds capture the lead.
Right.
52-51 is where we stand with 22.6 seconds remaining in the ballgame.
And one thing I want to talk about real quick before they get back to action, I feel like one thing that's key in a situation like this, your coaching, your leadership, I mean, it's really the attitude that they've had so far.
Redbirds get the ball in. Sorry, Dallas.
Oh, it's fine. I just was gonna say I've been watching Coach Johnson. I don't know if you've ever seen like just the way he his attitude on the sideline, but it's very even keeled. It's never down in disappointment.
Right.
His attitude is reflective of what he wants his players.
Roach at the line for 1-and-1. Shots up off the back of the rim. 20 seconds remaining. Redbirds up by 1. Glass underneath. They call another blocking foul and the goal. The ball finds the bottom of the net. Jalen Glass puts the Bulldogs up by 1. Tidwell gets called for the blocking foul. Her third personal foul. Bulldogs lead it by 1, 13.8 seconds remaining. And 1 shot from Glass on the way, and it's good. Bulldogs think it's over. Redbirds call a timeout. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. 54-52, Bulldogs, 13 seconds to go. You're listening to Farmington Lady Cardinal basketball on the Farm Card Sports Live Network. Resetting the time. 13.8 seconds left to go. Bulldogs lead it 54-52 in the fourth quarter. Here's the deal, Dallas. We don't need a 3 to win it. Let's score the 2, send it into overtime, and then take our chances in overtime. That's me.
Honestly, that'd be a win with the way.
Van Zandt goes, pushes ahead. Off the hands of a Bulldog and out of bounds. 9 seconds even remaining. The foul totals, Greenwood 7, Farmington 10. So both teams will be in the 1-1. Actually, Greenwood will be shooting 2. Cardinals underneath, down by 2. Gets it inbounds. Van Zandt got the ball. There's a blocking foul called on Greenwood, sending Van Zandt to the line.
Some big free throws right here for the Lady Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Got to make these.
Van Zandt at the line with the 1-1 with 4.6 seconds left to go. Down by 2. First shot's up off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Greenwood.
Foul on number 33, Joelle Tidwell, her
fourth personal foul. Sending to the line. Number 3, Shea Goodwin with 2 shots.
I don't think the Lady Cardinals have any more timeouts left, so.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
First shot rims out. There's still life.
That's going to be the main issue is if you get this rebound or if you pass in, you're going to have to do something quick and hope for a miracle.
Second shot rattles around and in. Here come the Redbirds. Shots up, last second prayer, no good. Van Zandt off the mark.
That's the end of the game.
And that's the end of the ball game. Final score, Greenwood 55, Lady Cardinals 52. And I tell you what, it's a great game ultimately. And I think by both teams. And looking at this game, Farmington should not have their heads down.
No, definitely not.
They fought back, fought an early deficit, big hole. Came out, stayed consistent, stayed patient, just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And the Cardinal faithful are letting them know that, well-deserved. They kept fighting. They didn't give up. It was, like I mentioned earlier, it could have very easily been just, oh, we're done. Let's just play our game and, be what it is. They stayed in it, kept fighting, kept fighting, kept fighting. Took a lead there for a moment. And then Greenwood just kept going. And look, Greenwood's got a very good ball squad. State tournament team last year. Obviously, we've had our battles with Greenwood, both in Farmington and in Greenwood last few years as we were in the 4A, 5A blend conference. So that was a conference game for us last year, not this year, as we have adapted back, to the 4A West.
Yeah, and what you were saying about definitely not having their heads down, I agree with you about that. I mean, they played a talented team. Obviously you can tell a lot of skill on that team. And if you look at what was going on in the first quarter, when they were down the whole time, second quarter even, most people I don't think would have foreseen the final outcome, much less Farmington having a lead, with 20 seconds left in the game.
Another thing, Dallas, is playing this kind of opponent, a classification above us. I think it's really going to get us ready for conference play, and I think that just shows that we can beat anyone in the 4A, and it really proves that Lady Cardinals are maybe one of the best teams in our region, and maybe even in the state 4A.
Were you questioning that beforehand?
No, I was emphasizing it.
I have said from the get-go, actually from the tip-off of last year, when they started to announce that we were going to realign districts, I told Coach Jay this, and well, actually, I'm just going to reserve that because I don't want to jinx anything. But I will say this much. If you look at the history that Coach Jay has had over the last 4 to 5 years, 4 out of the last 5 years, the Redbirds have been in the state tournament as far as lady basketball goes. No doubt about it. Do they deserve to be? Can they compete with the 5A conference? Absolutely, day in and day out. If they couldn't, they would not be the reigning, defending, undisputed 5A West district champs.
Yeah, these are the type of games that Coach Johnson loves. Like, you don't play pancake teams. You play the teams that you want, the teams people say you're not supposed to beat, that you have no chance against. and that's how you get better.
Right, absolutely. And you know, that's a great point. Greenwood, if you translated this into college football, Greenwood could very easily, because of their history under Coach Clay Reeves, is this. You can almost say that they are, in women's basketball, the Alabama.
Yeah, they're a dynasty. I feel like they have great talent every year.
There's no doubt about it. There's about 10 minutes left to go before tip-off of the men's game between the Greenwood Bulldogs and your Farmington Cardinals from HB Stewart Bulldog Arena in Greenwood. For Brody Hill, Dallas Walker, I'm Brian Dean. We'll take a quick break, get set up for the men's game. We'll be back just before tip-off. You're listening to Farmington Cardinal Basketball on the Farm Cards Live Sports Network. Are you in the market for some exterior or home improvements? Is your home ready for new siding, gutters, or metal roof, or asphalt roof? Do you need a new metal building or shop? Give Foster's Exterior Solutions a call today. Locally owned and operated right here in Farmington since 2008, Foster's Exterior Solutions is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics.
Hello, this is Kerry Pitts with Foster's Exterior Solutions. Please give us a call for all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs. We're at 479-445-9799. Go Cardinals.
Ozark Dermatology offers full medical, surgical, and aesthetic services. Our team offers comprehensive care for medical and surgical conditions for adults and children. Our experienced, board-certified physicians and highly trained physician extenders provide state-of-the-art diagnosis, treatments, and procedures in a relaxed and compassionate setting. Let Ozark Dermatology be your path to healthy skin. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Serving Northwest Arkansas since 1996, Trinity Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine specializes in physical therapy, certified hand therapy, and aquatic therapy. You have a choice when it comes to where your physical therapy services take place, and we hope you make it at Trinity Rehab and Sports Medicine of NWA. We are located at 2793 Millennium Drive, Suite number 2 in Fayetteville, and can be reached at 479-521-2232. Trinity Rehab and Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics. Go Cards!
Every home has electrical problems. A faulty switch, outdated fixtures, or not enough outlets. Buzz has seen them all. What's your home's problem? Call Buzz Electrical through Wednesday and get $50 off your service call and receive a whole home safety inspection on us. Every home has electrical problems. A faulty switch, outdated fixtures, or not enough outlets. Buzz has seen them all. What's your home's problem? Call Buzz Electrical through Wednesday and get $50 off your service call and receive a whole home safety inspection on us.
academies give students an opportunity to be grouped together with other students that have similar career interests so that we're not all part of just a big student population. We are all headed in the same direction.
We are really excited to implement them to provide some career training for kids as they get out into the real world, so they have the expectations and they know what's going to go on, so that if they're going into the workforce or if they're going to college, they're already prepared for those things.
Are you in the market for some exterior or home improvements? Is your home ready for new siding, gutters, or metal roof, or asphalt roof? Do you need a new metal building or shop? Give Foster's Exterior Solutions a call today. Locally owned and operated right here in Farmington since 2008, Foster's Exterior Solutions is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics.
Hello, this is Kerry Pitts with Foster's Exterior Solutions. Please give us a call for all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs. We're at 479-445-9799. Go Cardinals!
Ozark Dermatology offers full medical, surgical, and aesthetic services. Our team offers comprehensive care for medical and surgical conditions for adults and children. Our experienced, board-certified physicians and highly trained physician extenders provide state-of-the-art diagnosis, treatments, and procedures in a relaxed and compassionate setting. Let Ozark Dermatology be your path to healthy skin. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Serving Northwest Arkansas since 1996, Trinity Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine specializes in physical therapy, certified hand therapy, and aquatic therapy. You have a choice when it comes to where your physical therapy services take place, and we hope you make it at Trinity Rehab and Sports Medicine of NWA. We are located at 2793 Millennium Drive, Suite number 2 in Fayetteville, and can be reached at 479-521-2232. Trinity Rehab and Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics. Go Cards!
Every home has electrical problems. A faulty switch, outdated fixtures, or not enough outlets. Buzz has seen them all. What's your home's problem? Call Buzz Electrical through Wednesday and get $50 off your service call and receive a whole home safety inspection on us.
Welcome back, Cardinal fans, to HB Stewart Bulldog Arena in Greenwood, Arkansas. Getting set for the men's tip-off. About a minute and 14 seconds away from the Greenwood Bulldogs versus your Farmington Cardinals. Farmington comes into this game, Dallas, on a hot streak.
5 games, sir.
5 games after starting the season. I believe overall it was 2-5. And then has fought back, got a big-time victory at home against Siloam Springs, carried that into the Alma game. Took one for, I believe it was overtime, double overtime from Alma. Took that one, went into the Tony Satchery's tournament, won all 3 games there as well to get up to the 5-game win streak that they're currently on. Getting set for the starting lineups for both Greenwood and your Farmington Cardinals. Got about 24 seconds left to go before tip-off. Greenwood is coached by Donnie Husband, assisted by Matt Bryant.
And Brian, Brody, I'll just have you guys know, I'm excited for this game. we've been playing some really good basketball, and I'm excited to see what we can do against a pretty talented Greenwood team.
Absolutely. Greenwood comes into the ball game. It shows 1-6.
I don't think that means anything, Brian. I think Greenwood's going to come out here and give their best effort. They're looking for a win.
There's no doubt about it.
It's not about record, it's all about matchups. That's what we're going to have to watch, Brody. We're going to have to see how they match up against us and how we match up against them.
But on the other hand, the Cardinals, they're on a hot streak, and I don't think they want to stop.
Yeah, and one thing I'm excited to see is the last couple of games really on this 5-game winning streak, it's not been really off a product of one guy. It's been, there's always one guy that's really hot, and they gotta just see who that guy is, and just feed the hot hand. And it might be Pridmore, it might be Montez, it could be Whitmore, it might be Danny. Yeah, Danny. It was Danny. Danny had a good game against Huntsville. I was reading about that today. I mean, really, and even from their bench,
Tony Mayo, he could come off the bench and be a great impact to this team. Tony Mayo.
Shelley's a pretty good aggressive force on the inside. I wouldn't be surprised if he started doing some work in there early on.
Yeah, but I think this would be a good test for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Getting this 5A team here. They're on a little bit of a losing streak, and I think they're going to get their best effort.
Yeah, kind of the same argument, similar to what we were talking about at the end of the girls' game. This game would mean a lot. Getting a win here, obviously, not just improve our win streak to 6, but really just the attitude of our team. It would help it tremendously.
Yeah, it's really just going to test our mental toughness going into 4A conference play.
According to Max Preps, guys, our overall record 6-3. Greenwood's 1-6.
So that means Greenwood's going to come out hungry.
That sounds pretty.
Cardinals are going to get
pretty
Greenwood's best effort.
Right.
Greenwood has faced the new school, lost to them. Faced Clarksville, lost to them. Beat Two Rivers. Lost to Drew Central, lost to Bentonville, lost to Sylvan Hills, lost to Subiaco Academy.
Greenwood wins the tip-off.
Greenwood works the ball inside. Shots off the mark by Jack Gaston, rebounded by Greenwood.
Right there, Shelley, all he has to do is keep his hands up, and they can't get that shot off. It's too contested.
Gaston goes up again off the back of the iron 3 times before it's rebounded by Austin Shelley. On the floor for Greenwood is number 1, Caleb Legone. Number 11, Cameron Hampton. Number 20, Jace Garnes. Number 21, Jack Gaston. And number 23, James Christian. For your Redbirds, Danny Valenzuela, Jalen Montez, Jaden Whitmore, Will Pridmore, and Austin Shelley. Pridmore for 3 off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Legone. Three shot on the way, it's off the mark. Rebounded by the Redbirds. Here comes Pridmore, working inside. Layups up and good.
2-point basket, number 32, Will Pridmore.
The 3 attempt by Greenwood was off the mark by Cameron Hampton. Gaston goes inside, no good. Pridmore with the rebound. Looks to go inside, pulls up, kicks it over to Whitmore on the wing. Whitmore back to Pridmore.
One thing about Pridmore is I feel like you can't tell his real shot from his fake.
Pridmore goes inside, gets hacked, turnover. Recovered by Valenzuela, puts the basket up and in. 4-0, early Redbird lead, 5:48 to go in the first quarter. Legone ahead to Christian. From the corner, here's Gaston. His 3 attempt is good. Valenzuela from the corner, picks up his dribble, gets it inside to Pridmore. Pridmore looking to work on Gaston. Kicks it out to Valenzuela. Over to Whitmore. Whitmore to Pridmore. To Montez. Goes inside. Jumpers up. And it's in. 6-3 Redbirds lead it. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Redbirds with the trap. Greenwood breaks it. Shot up, blocked by Austin Shelley and out of bounds. That shot attempt was by Jace Garnes. Bulldog basketball, kicked it into the wing. Over to Christian. 3 attempts, no good. Rebounded Whitmore. Whitmore from the top of the key. Over to Pridmore for 3. Shots up and good. Will Pridmore gives the Redbirds a 6-point lead.
And you know, Mr. Dean, that's one thing about Will is he can beat you on the outside, he can beat you on the inside. He's a real versatile player.
Absolutely.
Stole the words.
Shelley with the second block of the night.
You stole the words right out of my mouth, Brody. I was going to say he's really complete. He can drive in and hurt you with that aggressive layup.
Shelley looking to make moves inside. His shot attempt is good. Spin around jumper by Austin Shelley after a block shot on the defensive end. Gives the Redbirds 11-3 lead. Greenwood takes a timeout with 4:13 left to go in the first quarter. Did not hear it. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. So great start for the Redbirds.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
11-3 lead, and you know, you guys mentioned about how the first early goings of this season for Farmington did not go as well as planned. But here's the thing: those first 5 games that they played were tough games.
Right.
Yeah.
Van Buren, Huntsville. Can't exactly remember all of them right off the top of my head, but those first 5 games, I remember in the first edition season preview of early in the paint with Coach Bo Thompson, he hoped that they would come out of that 5-game stretch with 1-4, 2-3, maybe a 3-2 record, but thought it was going to be a very difficult test for him.
Yeah.
But it would pay dividends for him. As we can see now, Redbirds are on a 5-game win streak.
Right.
Looking to push it to 6. James Christian with the ball, swings it over to the wing. Over to Garnes. Garnes looking inside, gets it back out to Christian. Christian from the wing looking inside, kicks it up to the top of the key. Down inside to Gaston. Gaston shot, blocked by Shelley again.
And they can't get that shot off against Shelley.
Cameron Hampton gathers the block shot, puts it up. Montez looking inside to Pridmore. Pridmore looking to move. He gets hacked. Man, they didn't call a hack, they called the jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to Farmington.
I don't know if that's the call I would have made, but
Mark Johnson checks in for Greenwood. Whitmore to inbounds it for Farmington. Gets it out to Montez on the wing. Montez looking inside to Pridmore, kicks it over to Whitmore instead. Shelley from the wing. That's a scary sight right there, guys. Gets it over to Pridmore. Pridmore looking to move inside. Gets pushed by number 30, Mark Johnson. It's going to be Johnson's first foul, Greenwood's first foul.
Mark Johnson, his first, team first.
Pridmore to inbound it for Farmington. 3:06 remaining, 11-5 lead for the Redbirds. Whitmore from the top of the key. Over to Montez, thought about a 3, goes inside. Pull-up jumper's good.
2-point basket, number 10, Jalen Montez.
Montez with 4 early points. Dome kicks it over to Christian. Christian from the Bulldogs' tail. Back to Christian, 3 ball on the way. Off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound Greenwood
Basket, number 20, Jace.
by Jace Garnes, puts the basket up and in. Whitmore brings it across the timeline for Farmington. Kicks it over to Valenzuela on the wing. To Montez in the corner, inside to Pridmore. His shot goes up and gets hacked.
Fouls on number 1, Caleb Liggin, his first.
Caleb Liggin gets called for his first foul.
24, Tony Mayo.
And Brian, one thing that I like about our team is that I know, especially these days in basketball, you have a lot of teams that try and build from the outside, from the perimeter in. But I feel like we're really, I don't know if you could say old-fashioned, but we really thrive inside the paint, playing that hard inside offense, and then we try to stretch it out, you know, vice versa.
Right. Mayo checks in for Farmington, replacing Austin Shelley. Loose ball gets gathered by Whitmore over to Montez. Mayo in the corner. Over to Pridmore from the wing. Looks inside to Mayo. Inerrant pass gets deflected into the hands of Greenwood. Greenwood looking to move inside. Basket's up and good.
2-point basket, number 21,
Jack Gaston with a 2. Whitmore across the timeline to Pridmore.
Fouls on number 21, Jack Gaston.
Jack Gaston gets called for his first.
Into the game for the Cardinals, number 13, Tyler Volmer.
Volmer checks in for the Redbirds. Replaces Whitmore. Volmer to Montez. Montez works around the screen by Pridmore. Volmer for 3 in the corner. It's good.
And you know, Dean, that's just one of those things that Tyler Volmer coming off the bench, he's just really good at shooting threes. Like in the Alma game, he had a clutch 3 to send the Cardinals into overtime.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bulldogs break the 10 count. How that wasn't a walk, I'm not too sure. Garnes' shot was off the mark. Rebounded by Farmington, pushed ahead by Volmer to Pridmore. Pridmore from the free throw line. Shots off the back of the rim, on the front of the rim, and out. Rebound Bulldogs. Bulldogs go to push. 3 on the way. It's off the mark. Rebound Mayo. 32 seconds left to go. Cardinals lead it 16-9. Volmer with the ball. Over to Pridmore. Pridmore to Valenzuela in the corner. Over to Volmer. Montez for 3 off corner. No good. Mayo collects the rebound, throws it out of bounds. 9.6 seconds left to go in the first.
I think he was anticipating Valenzuela being over there in the corner where he normally is.
Sure. Cardinals applying some heat. Steal by Pridmore. 3 on the way at the buzzer. It's good!
He didn't even have his feet on the
Pridmore
ground.
with a buzzer beater. Oh my. What a way to end the first quarter as Pridmore sinks the buzzer beater for 3. Gives the Redbirds a 19-9 lead at the end of the first quarter. You're listening to Farmington Cardinal basketball on the Farm Cars Live Sports Network. For Dallas Walker, Brody Hill, I'm Brian Dean. We'll be back in a moment.
Every home has electrical problems. A faulty switch, outdated fixtures, or not enough outlets. Buzz has seen them all. What's your home's problem? Call Buzz Electrical through Wednesday and get $50 off your service call and receive a whole home safety inspection on us.
We're back, Cardinal fans, from HB Stewart, Bulldog Arena in Greenwood. Start of the second quarter, 19-9, Cardinals lead. Greenwood owns the position arrow to start the second quarter. Brody Hill, Dallas Walker, I'm Brian Dean.
And Brian, you can go ahead and talk about the rest of the game. I'm just going to sit on that last shot that Pridmore had.
It's a nice shot. Way to end the second quarter. First quarter, there's the steal by Mayo. Gets it over to Pridmore. Volmer to Montez, to Pridmore at the top of the key. Montez from the wing, looking inside to Mayo. It's posting up, kicks it over to Valenzuela instead. Mayo steps out on the wing. Mayo to Pridmore. Pridmore steps back, sets up the offense. Montez from the free throw line, no good. Rebound Bulldogs, looking to push. There's a block by Mayo, recovered by Greenwood. Gaston with the shot attempt, no good.
We've been having really good center play by Tony and Austin tonight, getting their hands up and getting those blocks.
Jump ball possession belongs to Farmington. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Shelley Whitmore check back in, replacing Montez and Danny Valenzuela. Vollmer kicks it into Pridmore, gives it back to Vollmer. Brings the ball up court. Kicks it over to Mayo. Mayo to Pridmore. Pridmore thought about a three, dives inside instead, kicks it back out to Mayo. Resets the offense. Vollmer from the wing to Whitmore. Whitmore back to Vollmer, to Mayo, to Pridmore. Pridmore to Shelley from the Bulldogs' mouth. Vollmer on the wing to Pridmore at the top of the key. To Mayo. Shelley inside, looking to move. Shot up attempt, off the mark. Rebound Whitmore, puts it up and in.
Great putback.
Great rebound, great putback. Bulldogs want a timeout as Cardinals go up 21-9, 6:16 left to go in the second quarter.
Timeout Greenwood.
It's a 30-second timeout. You know, Dallas and Brody, you guys mentioned about the difference from the first 5 games to these last 5 games for Farmington. And one thing that I've seen, I'm sure you guys have seen it as well, now that these guys have got 10 games under the belt, one thing that I've noticed different, noticeably different from the early goings and potentially even last year, this team plays together.
Right.
And it's not, it's not a me first attitude, it's a big team, little me type attitude.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with those seniors.
Yeah, and in one of our interviews we had on our Early Bird Farm Card Sports last Friday, we talked to Jalen, Montez, and Whitmore, and they both talked about pretty much what you just said. They were talking about how it really, in no way is it a me first attitude. It's a, teamwork or bust,
Right.
You're going to do it as a team or you're not going to do it at all.
Gaston shots off the mark, contested by Shelley, rebound by Mayo. Head to Vollmer to Pridmore. Pridmore goes inside, gets hacked on the way up, almost still got the and one.
Foul on number 20.
Jace Garnes.
His first.
Picks up his first foul. Pridmore goes to the line for 2 shots.
Didn't look like Greenwood had very good inside protection right there and just let Will go in there unprotected.
Yeah, I think that's what Will saw. I wonder if he was almost thinking to himself, trying to go in and get that dunk. He had a big one in Alma that really lit the place on fire.
Pridmore's first shot's off the back of the iron. Second shot. Up, on the way, is good. Go ahead, Dallas, finish your thought.
I was done. I was just going to talk about how Will is really one of those special players where with really one shot, one play, he can turn the game around.
Right. Bulldogs with the basketball in the corner. Goes inside off the leg of Bulldog and out of bounds. That was off the legs of Garnes on the baseline, out of bounds to the Redbirds. Shelley throws it into Whitmore. Whitmore to Pridmore, inside to Shelley. Shelley looking to move inside, goes up strong, off the mark. Nice job by Shelley. Couldn't get the rebound, but noticed, hey, I've got 2 Cardinals players out on the wing. Let me tap it back out to him. Pridmore goes inside, floaters up, off the back iron. Rebound Bulldogs. Ahead to Christian. Christian inside. Shelley's there defensively. Shot alters the shot. That's Jace Garnes inside for the Bulldogs.
Fouls on number 23, Jaden Whitmore.
Jaden Whitmore commits his first personal foul. Team's first.
Fouls on 13, Tyler Vollmer.
Tyler Vollmer actually gets called for the foul. Bulldogs inbounds it. Block shot. Chase Garnes goes up for a shot again. And Shelley almost got his fourth block of the night. Unfortunately, gets called for the foul, his first foul.
Yeah, Shelley's just really getting that work inside tonight, up in the post.
Yeah, one thing I think you can see if you're here at the game is some of these players I've noticed, they look tired when you're having to constantly get bodied in there in the paint. When you got a big guy like Shelley in there bumping and bruising on you every single time you go in for the layup.
Garnes' first shot's up and in, closes the gap to 12. 22-10, 4:46 to go in the second quarter. Montez Valenzuela check back in for the Redbirds. Garnes' shot's up and in as well. Shelley to Whitmore. Whitmore from the top of the key to Valenzuela, inside to Shelley, outside to Whitmore. Three on the way, off the mark. Rebound, Pridmore. Blocking foul is going to be called on Caleb Lagone. Should be his second personal foul.
Fouls on number 1, Caleb Ligon, his second.
It is his second, team's fifth. Pridmore to inbounds it for Farmington. Gets it into the hands of Shelley, over to Pridmore. Step back three on the way. It's good. 25-11 Redbirds. Pridmore's got 12. Lagone to Christian. Try to entry pass, deflected by Farmington. Back into the hands of Greenwood. Turnover, Greenwood. 25-11, 3:47 to go. Pridmore with 12. Montez with 4. Volmer with 3. Valenzuela with 2. Whitmore with 2. Pridmore to Valenzuela. Over to Whitmore. Whitmore for 3 off the mark. Front iron, rebounded by Greenwood. Garnes. Over to Lagone. Lagone to Christian, back to Lagone. Steal attempt by Montez, unsuccessful. That one stolen by Pridmore.
And you know, one thing the Cardinals have been doing really consistently on defense, they've just really been putting that pressure in. Greenwood hasn't really been able to find anywhere to score points tonight.
Garnes get called for his second, team sixth. Jack Gaston checks in for Greenwood. Redbirds will have 1-1 going forward for the remaining 3:11 to go in the half. Pridmore from the wing, looking inside for Shelley. Kicks it over to Montez instead. Montez gives it to Shelley. Shot attempt is off the mark, blocked by Greenwood. Christian to bring it ahead to Lagone. Back to Christian. Back to Lagone. Intercepted by Pridmore. Pridmore looks to push. Nice dish to Valenzuela. It's up and in.
2-point basket, number 0, Valenzuela.
That's Valenzuela's fourth point of the night. Not fourth foul, fourth point. That shot's off the mark by Gaston. Rebound Redbirds. Valenzuela to Shelley, over to Pridmore. To Whitmore. Valenzuela in the corner. That pass is deflected out of bounds. Favor of the Redbirds. And I'm not too sure exactly what happened, but Dalton Russell comes to the scorer's table to check in, but hits the floor in the process.
Bulldogs, number 5, Dalton Russell.
Russell replaces Christian. Pridmore from the top of the key over to Montez. Montez almost slips. Gains control, kicks it over to Whitmore. Shelley battling down inside. Pridmore for 3, no good. Rebound, Greenwood. Jace Garnes with the rebound. Over to Russell. To Gaston, back to Russell. Over to Lagone. Guarded by Montez. Over to Garnes. Garnes to Lagone. To Hampton, to Russell. Russell looks to dive inside, no good. Gaston kicks it out for three by Cameron Hampton.
Number 11, Cameron Hampton.
Minute to go in the half. Pridmore with the ball. Redbirds up 27-14. Pridmore dives inside.
Two-point basket is good for number
Excuse me,
32,
shot up and good by Pridmore. Draws the foul, goes to the lane for and one. Gaston gets called for his second.
For the Cardinals, number 13, Tyler Bowman.
Bowman checks in for Whitmore.
Tony Mayo.
Mayo checks in for Shelley. Pridmore at the line for and one, 54.4 seconds left to go. 15-point lead. Pridmore shots up and off the mark. Almost a turnover by Greenwood. Russell gets it from Lagone, gives it back. Lagone going inside, kicks it out to Russell, kicks it down low to Garnes. Back out to Russell. Over to Christian for three. Off the mark. Rebound, Greenwood. Net shot by Garnes is up and in.
From up here, it looked like all ball to me.
They'll go to the line to shoot the and one. The foul was on number 13, Tyler Bowman.
Bowman picks up his second foul. Garnes at the line for and one. 29.7 seconds left to go in the half. Redbirds up 29-16. Garnes' shot's up and it rattles in. .29 seconds left to go. Vollmer throws it into Pridmore. Pridmore gives it back. Skip pass to Pridmore. Pridmore looks to go inside, pulls it back out. Sets up the offense. And now it's keep away for a couple seconds. Pridmore to Vollmer. Vollmer to Valenzuela. Back to Vollmer. To Pridmore. To Montez in the corner. Skip pass intercepted by Greenwood. That shot's up and no good at the buzzer for Greenwood, and that's halftime where the Redbirds lead at 29-17 over Greenwood. We'll take a quick timeout. Maybe be joined by the legendary Coach Brad Johnson. For Dallas Walker, Brody Hill, I'm Brian Dean. You're listening to Farmington Cardinal basketball on the Farmington Farm Cards Live Sports Network.
The academies give students an opportunity to be grouped together with other students that have similar career interests so that we're not all part of just a big student population. We are all headed in the same direction.
We're really excited to implement them to provide some career training for kids as they get out into the real world so they have the expectations and they know what's going to go on so that if they're going into the workforce or if they're going to college, they're already prepared for those things.
Are you in the market for some exterior or home improvements? Is your home ready for new siding, gutters, or metal roof, or asphalt roof? Do you need a new metal building or shop? Give Foster's Exterior Solutions a call today. Locally owned and operated right here in Farmington since 2008, Foster's Exterior Solutions is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics.
Hello, this is Kerry Pitts with Foster's Exterior Solutions. Please give us a call for all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs. We're at 47.
We're back, Cardinal fans, from HB Stewart, Bulldog Arena in Greenwood, where your Farmington Cardinals lead it at a halftime over the Greenwood Bulldogs 29-17. It's my pleasure to be joined now by Lady Cardinal head coach Brad Johnson. And coach, tough one. You know, there's a lot of things, and we'll get into it a little bit more, but coming to Greenwood, old 4A, 5A conference matchup for you guys. Got off to a little rocky start, may have played dividends for Greenwood in the long run. But one thing about it, you can't take anything away from your Lady Cardinals being down like they were early goings, fight all the way back, capture a lead, and just unfortunately wasn't able to complete the entire comeback.
You know, the hard part for the kids, I think, is, you know, some of them were beating themselves up a little bit because we didn't close it out. But the reality, and kind of what I told them in the locker room, is the reality is they did a phenomenal job of making plays in the second half to gives ourselves a chance to win the basketball game. And you know, it's not like we're playing a bad opponent. You know, I mean, let's just say it what it is. I mean, Greenwood was 5A state runner-up, or sorry, 6A state runner-up last year. Probably is an injury away from really being the 6A state champ. They return all those kids back. You know, they're the favorite again in what is now the 5A classification for them. And all they've done is play well to this point. You know, Friday night they beat North Little Rock 18. And so that is a very quality opponent. And so, you know, to get down big and then have the intestinal fortitude to fight, to not flinch, stick with the game plan, and just try to chip away and get yourself to the fourth quarter and have a chance to win. And our kids did that, and they're not making plays on a bad team. That's a good team with good players at all kinds of spots, and you know, they got a lot of players that can go make plays and hit shots, and they did. But we in the second half in particular, we did too. And you know, there's some good things. There's a lot of growth that comes out of this game. You know, for one, I think it's a state tournament atmosphere. That is certainly a state championship caliber team we played. And ultimately, if we're going to play on the biggest stages and get to where we want to go, those are the type of games that we're going to have to play in. And I think we learned a lot about our team, a lot about ourselves tonight. And I hate losing with a passion. Absolutely. It guts me to the core, but I couldn't be more proud of how our kids played, and I think that we're going to have a lot of growth from this game. And for that, you know, that's why this game was scheduled, and that's why we've got to play these games.
Right. I think, you know, and you and I have talked about this, and I haven't had the fortitude or luck, or maybe fortunately enough for me, I haven't been in your shoes as far as like a high school coach goes. But even, you know, Little League, you wanted to, with younger Pee Wee leagues, Little League, whatever adjective that you want to put there, you still want to teach that competitiveness. You still want to teach the differences between wins and losses. And granted, at that age, it's more about, you know, it may be more about fundamentals, but you want to teach that competitive edge.
Sure.
From the coaching aspect, I would think that if you could say, you know what, if I could play this game like this, and say we come out with a loss, but still played like this, it would be one of those, quote, if you will, acceptable losses from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, that's the hard part of it sometimes when you're a coach, is that, like, and we talk so much about being finishers and winning games, stuff like that, but reminding the kids that there is an opportunity to grow. You know, you have to take the mentality, you either win or you learn. Right. And I think our kids learned a lot. I think as coaches we learned a lot. But at the end of the day, we were who we thought we were, which is a team that's gritty, a team that can make plays, a team that can play with anybody in the state of Arkansas, and we showed that. One of the things before we came down here, Brian, that I talked with our kids about when we were doing our film session this afternoon, right before we left, is that, you know, there were going to be a lot of plays. Greenwood forces you to make plays in chaos because of what they do defensively.
Sure.
We knew where we needed the basketball to go. It was up to us to put it there and then go make the plays in space. But what I challenged them to do is for them to take control of the game. Greenwood thrives in environments, and they beat people because they control you with what they do defensively. And I thought early on Greenwood controlled the game. I thought, though, in the second half, I felt like we took total control, and we kind of were able to dictate their switches defensively. They had to come out of their zone and get in their man, and we tried to isolate some matchups. They had to jump in and do some things maybe that initially that they weren't planning on having to do. And but that's a credit to our kids. And you know what? The other side of this coin is Greenwood made plays when they had to. You know, the play at the end that 22 made, that's just a really good basketball play on a lot of levels. They found the kid. She gets behind us, and she's strong enough that he played through a foul and made a shot. And, you know, sometimes it comes down to a free throw here or there, or a made or missed shot here or there, or a rebound here or there. But at the end of the day, that's the way that game should have been played. If you're going to be two teams that, feel like that you're at least in the hunt in your respective conferences or your respective classifications, if you're going to be at the top level, that's the way that game should be played. And I'm really, really proud of our kids and the toughness that they showed. And I know me saying that right now is a little consolation to them because they're hurt over it, which, I'm glad that they are. But at the end of the day, it wasn't one play, wasn't one basket, one free throw, one rebound. There's 1,000 plays to be made, and we made plays to give ourselves a chance to win, and I couldn't be more proud of a group than I am right now.
Right, like we had discussed, it's very, 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 very difficult to go 34, 35, 36, and 0.
Yeah.
And so, better to get it, if you were going to take one, better to take one against a team like this in an environment like this. And like you mentioned, learn from it, get something out of it. And I can tell you, watching that game, we kind of, I don't know, you may know, I don't know. We had some technical difficulties in the first half, so I caught a lot of the first half where Dallas and Brody were messing with our machine. But one thing that I really learned from this team, sitting up here watching this transpire the way that it did, and I kind of wondered going in is the patient level. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of your games hadn't been like this one turned out to be. And so I wondered when that adversity hits and you get down like you did tonight, 11-0, right out of the gates, what does that look like from your girls? And I think the way that they played, I learned a lot about their patience because at that point in time, let's say that next shot by us doesn't go in and then Greenwood continues, hits another 2 or even a 3. Now you're down 13, 14, and then it's very easy. Hey, you know what? There's the white flag. We're just going to run through pack it up and let's just run through the motions. Your girls didn't do that. Your girls said, hey, you know what? We're Farmington. We're here for a reason.
Right.
Let's see what we can do and just make a run of it.
Well, and that was something I was really impressed with, too. And, again, we've not really, outside of a bucket here or there, we've not played from behind. Most of the time early on in the season, we've had relatively big leads. And so to get down, not only get down, but get down big against a team that's really good, there was no panic. I wanted to see, there's some of our young kids and kids with some inexperience. I want to know what they would do in this game.
Right.
Honestly, Greenwood can expose things. And so, but we answered the bell. I thought early on, you could see we were a little tight, but when we settled in and then just did what we do, we performed beautifully. And now, our kids, again, are going to tell you, well, I missed this shot or I missed that shot. We got good looks, Brian. We did. And kids taking shots in spots that I want them taking, and we'll take those shots every day of the week. We had some stuff rim out in the first half. I think we had four threes go in the cylinder, rim around, and pop out.
Right.
And so that was just what we tried to build on. Like you're not turning it over much. You're getting the shots we want. You got to continue to play with confidence, and good things will happen as long as you're playing hard. Defensively, we really turned the corner tonight, and I'm really proud of that because Greenwood's so stinking hard to guard. And we chose to try to do it in the zone, even though they got shooters all over the place, and we gave up some shots early. But I thought our kids adjusted and adapted and did the things they needed to do. So I just can't say enough of how proud I am of them. This is a special, special group to me. You know that. All my groups are special, but we've been through a lot with this group, and adversity and just different things over the years. But they find reasons and ways to stay together, and they lift each other up. It's just pretty uplifting for me as a basketball coach to get to work with these kids every day.
And I would venture to guess that as hard as your kids are about, I missed this shot, and they take it personally, I bet that doesn't upset you one bit either.
No, it doesn't, because they're competitive and they expect to win. And that's a mentality. That's part of our culture, and culture doesn't come from me. That culture comes from inside that locker room, and that's pretty special. And I would be worried if they didn't feel that way, And that's kind of why a little bit I was trying to console them some in the locker room, just because I knew they're very self-critical. They're going to beat themselves up. I don't ever want them to accept mediocrity, ever. But I do want them to see the value in their efforts and see the fact that, hey, we had a chance to win a basketball game tonight. It just didn't go our way.
Right.
But the next time we're in this situation, I feel pretty good about our chances.
I like how you snuck that word in there, some. You try to console them. Some.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly, I know exactly. exactly what you meant there. And Coach, I know that you got to run, and you know, we talked a little bit about beforehand the relationship and the history that Coach Clay Reeves has not only in Greenwood but in Northwest Arkansas prior in Greenland, and your history, Coach Blue's history with him, and then unfortunately he had a medical condition that he had to step away. And we mentioned that our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, and I just want to give you the opportunity.
Well, you know, Clay is just such a special person, not just from the basketball side of things. Obviously, he's a treasure for the state of Arkansas because all the guy does is win, you know.
Right.
And he's the ultimate competitor. You know, one of the things, and I'll share this real quick, and he probably don't even remember it, but when I was it was early in my coaching career, really, really early, and I was still coaching boys basketball. We happened to be playing one night at Greenland. We came in a little early. It was a junior high night, actually, and he was on the floor practicing with his girls. And he walked out of his practice, stopped practice, caught me on the way to the locker room, put me aside. He didn't, you know, we had never spoke. I was a little bit in awe of him because of how, you know, obviously how successful he had been. Pulled me to the side and just basically briefly in that conversation told me he enjoyed watching my teams play. I had no idea, Brian, that he'd ever seen them play. But just and kind of encouraged me with the job that I was doing and made me feel really important, you know, in only the way that Clay does. You know, he's a man of kind of few words when it comes to that stuff, and he's very, you know, he's a very driven guy. But for him to take time out, that meant a lot to me, and it's always kind of stayed with me throughout my coaching career. And we, you know, he and I don't talk every day, every week, or even every month. You know, it's kind of quarterly when we visit. But he's just a special guy. He's a guy that I enjoy talking to in face-to-face and having a phone conversation with him. You know, and he's just a really special person to this community. And I know his kids tonight, they were our opponents, but my heart broke for them because I know that they were broken, you know, and he should be really proud of them because his kids showed tremendous toughness, and it was a war. But at the end of it all, my thoughts and prayers go out to him, and I want to see him, and he will. I want to see him have a full recovery. You know, I want him to take some time to let his body heal and listen to what his doctors and stuff say. And we would love nothing more than to see him get better and get back on the sideline where he deserves to be, because there's a lot of winning left to do in Greenwood for Coach Reeves, and he still has a lot to give to the game and that he can share with people. And but first and foremost, his health has to come first. And I think sometimes, Brian, you know, as coaches, we're the worst about taking care of ourselves and focusing on competition and the grind. But we have to remember that we're humans too, and we are competitors with ourselves and with each other. But it's also a pretty special fraternity, and that guy is a special person. And I hope, I wish for the best for him. We're praying for him, and I know he'll come back better than ever.
You know that human health situation quite personally, don't you?
I do.
Not to take a stab at you, but you kind of left the door open, Coach. And Coach Reeves can win all he wants.
Yeah.
Except for when he plays Farmington.
We want to beat him every time. I promise you.
Coach, I appreciate the time. Be safe on your way back.
Thank you.
And you know, looking forward to Friday when we tip off in the good old arena.
Absolutely.
Against Prairie Grove, Battle of 62 basketball style.
1 4A conference opener. Let's bring the fans. Let's pack the house and do this thing right, because it should be fun.
Absolutely, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you, Brian.
All right. Have a good one. Cardinal fans, there you have it. Coach Brad Johnson with the Lady Cardinals. Recap of their basketball game tonight against Greenwood, where they lost a heartbreaker by 2. Here we have the boys game. 3:18 left to go in the third quarter as a three-point basket goes in by Cameron Hampton. Redbirds lead it at the 3:12 mark in the third quarter, 33-24. Greenwood has closed the gap within 9. 30-second timeout called by Farmington. Brody Hill, Dallas Walker. I'm Brian Dean from HB Stewart Bulldog Arena. And Dallas, one of the nicer arenas that are around.
Right. It kind of has almost the feel of like a college level stadium, just the way it's built and just the atmosphere in here.
You listened in to that interview with Coach Jay, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Because he said the same exact thing.
No, like, I think it's the headset. Like, when he handed me the headset, it was like, wow, I suddenly know about basketball.
You just felt the aurora coming on?
Like, I feel like I can go down there and I could coach a team.
Redbirds with the basketball. On the court, Austin Shelley, Jaden Whitmore, Will Pridmore, Danny Valenzuela, and Jalen Montez. On the court for Greenwood, James Christian, Stephen Stone, Caleb Lagone, Jack Gaston. And there's one more as Pridmore goes inside, gets hacked. I believe that ball went in.
It did. Just good physical play by Will right there.
Count the basket for Pridmore.
Foul was on number 30, Mark Johnson, his second.
He's not scared to get in there.
Mark Johnson gets called for his foul, his second. Pridmore with his 13th point of the night, looking to go 14. Or does that say 18?
18. 19.
Make that 19 points for Pridmore. My apologies.
Number 13, Tyler Volmer. Number 24, Tony
Mayo
Mayo.
and Volmer check in, replacing Shelley and Whitmore. Cardinals in the full court press. Bulldogs break it. Ahead to Cameron Hampton. Kicks it back out over to Stone to Lagone. My apologies. That's not Lagone. That's James Christian. From the wing. Over to Hampton.
Cardinals playing some good defense, making Greenwood pass it around. Haven't quite found the open man yet.
Redbirds in a 2-3 zone. Stephen Stone with the ball at the Bulldogs' mouth. Cardinal bench getting into the defense. Stone.
Lucky for Greenwood, there's no shot clock.
That may come in due time there, Dallas, and I'll tell you about that here in a moment. Stone with it, looks to go inside. Thought about a jumper, pulls up, changes his mind. Here's the jump shot. 3 off the mark, rebounded by Valenzuela. That 3 attempt was off the hands of James Christian. Volmer brings the ball up the court for Farmington. Don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're being broadcast worldwide throughout the United States. Got some listeners over in New Mexico.
Ooh.
I'd like to say hello to the Van Zant family if they are still listening. Volmer from the wing. To Pridmore, to Mayo, back to Volmer. 1:05 left to go as Montez goes inside. Gets a block and count the basket. Jalen Montez with his 6th point of the night.
Fouls on number 23, James Christian, his first.
James Christian gets called for his first. Montez is at the line with an and-1. Checking into the ball game for the Bulldogs, number 5, Dalton Russell, number 25, Aaron Lagone. So there's 2 Lagones on this team. Montez, toilet bowls one in to complete the 3-point play. Redbirds lead it by 15, 39-24. 56 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Russell from the wing. Pulls it back out, gives it over to Gaston. Gaston back to Russell. Russell to Gaston. And that was James Gaston for 2. Jack Gaston, my apologies. Closing seconds of the 3rd quarter, 22 seconds remaining. Volmer to Valenzuela inside to Mayo. Mayo powers up, basket's good. 41-20 seconds with 41-26 with 12 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Coach Husband wants his boys to move it across. That shot by Christian's off the mark to close the 3rd quarter, where the Redbirds lead it by 15, 41-26 at the end of the 3rd quarter. For Dallas Walker, Brody Hill, from HB Stewart, Bulldog Arena in Greenwood. I'm Brian Dean. You're listening to Farmington Cardinal Basketball on the Farm Cars Live Sports Network.
Ozark Dermatology offers full medical, surgical, and aesthetic services. Our team offers comprehensive care for medical and surgical conditions for adults and children. Our experienced, board-certified physicians and highly trained physician extenders provide state-of-the-art diagnosis, treatments, and procedures in a relaxed and compassionate setting. Let Ozark Dermatology be your path to healthy skin. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Serving Northwest Arkansas since 1996, Trinity Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine specializes in physical therapy, certified hand therapy, and aquatic therapy. You have a choice when it comes to where your physical therapy services take place, and we hope you make it at Trinity Rehab and Sports Medicine of NWA. We are located at 2793 Millennium Drive. Welcome back, Cardinal fans, from Bulldog Arena in Greenwood. Redbirds up at the start of the 4th quarter, 41-26, 8 minutes away from completing a 6th consecutive victory. Tyler Volmer inbounds it to Pridmore. Pridmore brings it across the timeline. Looks to dive inside. Contested layup, but the basket's up and good. 21 points now for Pridmore. (43-26), 7:38 to go. Bulldogs want a timeout. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. You're listening to Farmington Cardinal basketball on the Farm Cars Live Sports Network. Suite number 2 in Fayetteville and can be reached at 479-521-2232. Trinity Rehab and Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Farmington Cardinal Athletics. Go Cards!
Every home has electrical problems. A faulty switch, outdated fixtures, or not enough outlets. Buzz has seen them all. What's your home's problem? Call Buzz Electrical through Wednesday and get $50 off your service call and receive a whole home safety inspection on us.
Welcome back, Cardinal fans from Greenwood, Arkansas. Brody Hill, Dallas Walker, Brian Dean, Greenwood with a basketball. Down by 17 with 7:36 left to go in the 4th quarter. Volmer defending Stephen Stone.
And again on defense, the Cardinals.
Austin Shelley with his 4th, maybe 5th block of the night.
Fouls on number 5, Dalton Russell.
Dalton Russell commits his first foul of the game, team 6th. And I'm sorry that I was laughing there, but Pridmore goes up for 3 and it's good. 46-26. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Coach Husband from Greenwood asked his players, how in the world do you expect to shoot a layup over the top of somebody that's 6'8"?
Yeah, I think I can agree with him.
That's just common sense.
Here's a 3 from the wing from Stephen Stone.
Number 2, Stephen Stone.
I don't think I'd shoot over Austin.
Whitmore to Volmer. Over to Pridmore. Volmer setting the screen. Pridmore goes to the corner, kicks it back out to the wing to Volmer. Skip pass over to Whitmore. Shelley to Whitmore. Reverses side up to the wing. Whitmore goes inside. Shot up is blocked by number 24, Braden Stein. And out of bounds.
Into the game for the Cardinals, number 22, Jackson McKinley.
Jackson McKinley checks in for the Redbirds, replacing Will Pridmore. 6:08 remaining to go, remaining in the ball game. 46-29 Redbirds. Three attempt by Greenwood is off the mark. Rebound by Braden Stein. He puts it back up and in.
I think Greenwood puts in their big man to try and battle against our big man, Austin Shelley. Trying to get some physicality in there on the inside.
Absolutely, that's a good call. Stein completes the three-point play. Mayo gets called for his first. Caleb Ligon checks back in for Greenwood. Greenwood steals it. Ligon up.
Three-point basket, number 25, Aaron Ligon. Farmington timeout.
30-second timeout called by Coach Thompson as the Bulldogs close within 12. 46-34 with 5:31 remaining in the ballgame. Coach Thompson's telling his boys, let's go, finish. And that's what it's about right now. Finish the ballgame. You got yourself to this point, now finish it.
Exactly, yeah. You always want to make sure you play the full 4 quarters in a game like this, and with opponents like this. You see Greenwood, credit to them, they're not backing off, similar to how the Lady Cardinals played in their game. So our job right now is to not take our foot off the pedal.
Shelley inbounds it to Pridmore. Pridmore brings it up the court. Nice dish outside. Outside to Montez, and Pridmore gets called for the foul. Player control foul. His first personal foul, team second. Coach Thompson didn't like it, but what the ref says, the ref goes. Ligon guarded by Valenzuela. Nice job with defensive help by Montez. Pridmore intercepts the pass. Oh. Pridmore goes up for a shot, but they call a foul on the floor.
Foul is on number 1, Caleb Ligon. Two-point basket was good for Will
Caleb
Pridmore.
Ligon gets called for his third personal foul. Pridmore at the line for 1 and 1. Up 48-34. 5:11 to go. First shot's up and it's in. Apparently that basket was good.
Yeah,
he said it was on the floor, but then they only gave him 1 shot. Nonetheless, 27 points for Pridmore. Skip pass into the hands of Stone. Reverses. Skip pass again to Hampton. Hampton reverses field to Stone. Stone to Garnes. Inside to number 11, Cameron Hampton. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Greenwood's number 24, Braden Stein. His shot's off the mark. Jace Garnes gets the rebound, puts the ball up and in. Whitmore commits his third foul. Basket was good, so Garnes at the line, shooting and 1. 13-point Cardinal lead, 49-36, 4:36 left to go in the ball game. Garnes' shot's up, and it's in. Shelley to inbounds it to Whitmore. Whitmore almost throws it away. Caught by Montez, who then throws it away. Stolen by Valenzuela. Recovered by Whitmore. Then almost had it stolen by Greenwood. Ball goes out of bounds off of Greenwood.
You know, it's weird. That was almost not quite as crazy, but kind of similar to the moment you had in the girls game.
Yep.
You got 2 physical teams fighting for the ball. You got a lot of back and forth action.
Got to have that hustle.
Vollmer checks in, replacing Whitmore. Over to Montez on the wing. Montez to Vollmer. Vollmer to Pridmore. Pridmore pulls it back, goes to the Bulldogs' belly. Dives inside, dishes it to Valenzuela, shots up and in.
2-point basket, number 0.
Valenzuela with his 6th point. You got Pridmore with 27, Montez with 7, Valenzuela with 6, Whitmore with 4, Vollmer with 3. Whitmore is not even on the court anymore. The Bulldog shot off the hands of number 20, Jace Garnes. Rims out, rebounded by Farmington. Vollmer kicks it ahead to Pridmore. Crosses the timeline, backs it out, sets up the offense.
Cardinals going to try to slow this game down a little bit.
3-point basket, number 0, Valenzuela.
Valenzuela puts the shot up and in for his 8th point of the night. That, I don't know if that was a shot block or not, but if it was, that's number 5 for Austin Scheller. Blocks the shot right off the hands of a Bulldog player and out of bounds.
I don't know, it kind of reminds me, you ever seen that that little ESPN commercial with Anthony Davis? He's trying to get on the internet and he keeps saying blocked. It's kind of what it reminds me of. Just block here, block there.
Number 20, Jace Garnes, is 4. To the line, shooting the 1-and-1.
Looks like Pridmore will go back to the line. I believe he's going to be shooting 1-and-1.
Pridmore shot up and in. 28 points now for Pridmore. Pridmore's second attempt. Front of the rim and in. Cardinals going to a full court press. Ooh.
I don't know about
like
that
a
one.
Clean ball swipe to me by Pridmore, but
number 32,
must have bumped him.
His 2nd.
Pridmore's 2nd personal foul, Cardinals 4th. Pridmore goes inside, kicks it back out to Vollmer. 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Cardinals lead it 55-37.
Timeout, Farmington. 30-second timeout.
Coach Thompson calls a 30-second timeout. Leaves them with 2 remaining. Bulldog Greenwood has 2. Minute 57 left to go in the ball game. Farmington up 55-37.
And with only a minute 57, currently up by 18, I think it's safe to say that Cardinals so far have done a good job closing out. Like I said earlier, keeping their foot on the pedal and really not letting off. Makes it easier to win games when you play the full 4 quarters. I think that could probably go back to talking about depth on the team. You really, compared to what I would say us against Greenwood always, they seemed fatigued out there a lot of times, but I feel like we had pretty good rotation. We can swap in really anybody and get some good minutes out of them.
Clay Young into the ball game for Farmington. Not sure what happened. Ball getting knocked out of bounds. Tony Mayo in the game, as well as Jackson McKinley. Vollmer with the basketball.
Fouls on number 1, Caleb Ligon, his 4th. Into the game for the Bulldogs, number 5, Dalton Russell. At the line, shooting 1-1, number 3, Caden Young.
Caden Young going to the line for the 1-1.
Cardinals, number 5, Noah Disharoon.
Noah Disharoon checks in for the Redbirds. Shots up and good.
Number 3, Caleb Pitts. Number 13,
Connecting on both, giving the Cardinals a 20-point advantage. 57-37, 1:33 left to go. Marquavian Watson's also in the game for Farmington. So on the court, you got Caden Young, Noah Disharoon, Quay Watson, Tony Mayo, and Jackson McKinley. Going with a jumper, no good. Ball out of bounds off of Bulldogs. Valuable minutes here for some of the younger guys. Watson gets his pocket picked. Redbirds still at right back. Off the hands of Young into the hands of Mayo. To Disharoon. My apologies to Young.
Fouls on number 5,
Dalton Russell picks up his second personal foul.
Double bonus, number 22, Jackson McKinley.
McKinley at the line for 2 shots. Redbirds lead it, 50.1 seconds left to go in the ball game. 57-37.
In the game for the Bulldogs, number 14, Sebastian Berry. Number 34, Bryce Merritt. And for the Cardinals, number 21, Riley Funk.
Riley Funk checks in to the ball game for the Redbirds. Second shot's up and good. Pitts brings it across for the Bulldogs. Three attempt is no good, rims in and out. That shot attempt was by Hunter Heston. 26 remaining seconds. 58-37 Redbirds. Kinley from the top of the key. Now Disharoon. Seven seconds to go, 58-37 Redbirds. Cardinals are going to run out the clock and seal up their 6th consecutive victory, guys. Nice job by the Redbirds.
Yeah, 21-point win against a 1-6 team is still a strong statement. Really, I think this is one of those trap games where you might look at the record and be easy, okay, we can kind of take a break, we can ease up a little bit. But I didn't really see that tonight from the Cardinals. I saw a full, constant, full 4-quarter basketball game.
Right, and that'll push the Redbird record to 7-3 overall, heading into this conference opener this week. Battle of 62 against Prairie Grove. Brody, final thoughts? You've been quiet.
You know, I think this is one of those games that's going to really help us going into conference, winning games like this against larger classification opponents. So, yeah.
Brody Hill fell asleep on us in the second half.
Brody Hill, what a guy. I'm just going to give a shout out. I'm going to say we wouldn't have got the broadcast up if I didn't have Brody right there.
Hey, I got those research skills. I got those thumbs.
Yeah. Brody was in the voice in the back of my head, just helping me.
Telling you what to do?
Exactly.
Hey, Google answers all. From what I hear.
Googling it, that's a verb, man. It's an action.
Just Google it. If you have a question, Google it. You'll find the answer. That'll do it for tonight, folks, where the Redbirds come out on top. 21-point victory, 58-37 for Brody Hill. Quickie-Nog, Dallas Walker. I'm Brian Dean from HB Stewart, Bulldog Arena in Greenwood. Your Redbirds win it tonight, move the record to 7-3. You've been listening to Farmington Cardinal basketball on the Farm Cars Live Sports Network.